from an undisclosed location in the Great Western Desert in the land of the free and autonomous Native American people. The 2024 presidential campaign in its time to return all U.S. land back to their rights owners. This is the Ben Zion Podcast.
Techno Communism will win.
Welcome back to the Techno Communism Show. Emphasis on the communism. That's usually the case. And I'm here with Unholy Rome. Unholy Rome is the founder of the Revolutionary Blackout Network, and he is an organizer. The list of projects that he's spearheaded, community-oriented projects, is too long to have in this short bumper. But let me say that he's a real organizer. And I remember a couple of years ago there was a guy named Barack Obama. I was not smart enough to notice this at the time, but people said, "What's he organizing?" Everybody introduced him as an organizer. And maybe he was organizing a capitalist psyop. but I think Rome is definitely the real deal. It's good to have you on the show, Rome. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm doing fine, man. Just running around for RBN and my boys, and just trying to tie everything up before I get back to this library.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about your library.
It's being built on the east side of Detroit, Houston Whittier Lane. We're gonna be opening pretty soon. I'm just kind of taking a break on it right now, but we have totally transformed this building. This was my mother's church. Well, you can say my childhood church. I always hated this church. I always had some type of I'm an atheist. I'm an open atheist now, but I always wanted to take this building and do something really meaningful with it, because learning that they don't have to pay back to the neighborhoods that they take from, it just really turned me off, not only when I did believe in when I don't believe in God, but when I did believe in God, I didn't like it. I always wanted to get the building and turn it into a community center. This is what we're going to be doing with the building. It's not only going to be a library, it's going to be a tech school. We're going to have woodshop class. We're going to have a gun class for the adults that come by. It's going to be more of a community center, but I'll just call it a library for Texas.
Nice. And I'm going to share a link for the library project, folks. If you're watching this show because you're interested in tech or you're interested in revolutionary action, I hope it's the latter. But in any case, check out all the links that I'm sharing for Rome, Death to America, and the projects that he's working on out in the community. These are important projects. Rome, it occurred to me, you and I have something in common, which is that we were vocal anti-theists and Marxists. Let me ask you this question. I am of mind to think that Christianity in North America specifically is maybe the number one cultural institution upholding U.S. fascism.
Yeah.
What do you think? What is your approach to talking to people of faith? Is there a role for people of faith as communists on this continent as opposed to other places?
I mean, I used to believe that you can't be a communist and a Christian, or a communist and religious, because it's kind of oxymoron to me, but other people don't see it that way. Other people need they need time, and you got to finesse your way into actually getting them to fight and be class consciousness. So I believe that there's a place for everyone in the revolution, but as far as leading with religion, that's what I don't do. I try to keep religion or spirituality, anything that has something to do with that realm, out of it, and I try to keep it really on class, on their living, their living conditions, et cetera, et cetera. This is how I get them, no matter if they were Muslim, because I have Muslims. I have a Muslim in my party, Tasha. Her and her son, they are Muslims. I have Christians in my party. I have atheists in my party. But one thing we all agree with is we need a better world, no matter what the hell you believe in. No matter who you pray to, we all need a better world. And how are we going to get it? Working amongst each other and learning how to go over those lines. So now, it's not so much of an outcast to see me with a woman with a hijab on, you know, because we all working for the same things and we all are communists under the same flag.
I, for one, have tried to soften my approach to that, and realizing that the religion is not the primary contradiction. But in a place like the U.S., it's pretty uniquely Christian fascist,
Yes.
and so I guess it's a kind of a fine line there. Um, but yeah, that seems like a sensible approach.
You just gotta
Um,
make sure. You just gotta make sure your propaganda is intact. You gotta make sure you know who you're talking to, how much they know. You know, study the neighborhood. Study what's the highest. You know, graduate. What's the highest that they graduated at this rate in this town or whatever. Get to know the people, and it won't be so hard. So now, you know, even if I would like, I do talk to hardcore Christians. Like my best friend is a hardcore Christian. You know, even though he's a fucking thug. Now I'm playing, but you know, he's a hardcore Christian. He believe in Jesus. You know, I'm an atheist, and we still work. You know, he's out there with me down there every time I'm doing a giveaway fundraising. He helped me build the library to what it is today. You know, and one thing that we didn't let get in between us was the religion or lack of, because we see the vision of what we want for our community. You know, we can sit here and argue and bitch all day about why you don't believe this or why do you believe that. You know, okay. And after we are done having this debate, which isn't going to change neither one of our minds for so on many hours, you know, what have we done? You know, we have wasted time. We have wasted so much time that we could have been building on. We could have been building another bench. We could have been out there feeding the homeless. We could have been out there cutting hair. We could have been out there giving out waters, diapers, backpacks, whatever it may be. But all the time that you sitting here debating on your differences, you could have been coming together on what you actually want and how can you get better for your people.
I can't see the whole screen in the background. It says a CNN attacks Cornel West as spoiler candidate. Okay. How do you think that candidacy is going so far? You and I, we might not necessarily be in the Green Party, but maybe you can talk about it.
I mean, as a non-voter, which I'm probably not going to vote again this election, it's going better than I thought. You know, he's getting a lot of attention. He's picking up steam. Uh, I don't know. You know, Dr. Cornel West, maybe I don't want to say too soft, but one of my theories is you don't throw your best swimmer in a swamp with man eating alligators. You know, this is why I disagree with people running inside of the Democratic Party, but I also put this to the Green Party because you know this man is nice. You know, he's like the Black Santa Claus or wherever the fuck nice guy you want to put the image on. But I think his heart is too well to deal with these war criminals. You know, to actually combat them. And I know I believe he come from the right place. I think he coming. You know, he's saying the right things. He want to disband NATO. You know. He want to end the empire. He said this to my face on the show. So, you know, that those are good things. But do I have confidence that he can get that done? No. And this is why I asked him, I was like, okay, well, we know you're not going to win. So is this just to build to help us build a movement so we can get to that percentage so we can start getting federal funding and you know we can get access to ballots and whatnot? Because I don't see Dr. Cornel West winning anything. I see him winning the hearts and the minds of millions that will try to continue what the Green Party is doing. But as far as him being the next black president, no. NATO would kill him. The IMF, you know, the CIA, the FBI, the regular police. You have regular citizens that would kill him just because of the threat of capital. You know, when you have a black man saying reparations to black people and defunding the police and ending the empire, you start to it's either going to be a white flight or a white fight.
I was thinking about a conversation that we had sort of in passing about these announcements about space aliens of recent days. These are unusual times. If the U.S. government is making official statements about the existence of space aliens, things pretty much up to that point, that to me suggests that we might be in a time where somebody with the profile of Cornel West, who is running outside of the establishment, could be the president in January 2025. But I agree that some probably unusual things might happen between now and then for that to be the case in this fascist system. Do you maybe do you want to say anything about the space aliens?
I mean, of course, I believe that we're not the only one. That's just illogical. That's just dumb to believe that we are the only life form in these universes. Now, what I mean by life forms, like a lot of people are Hollywood programmed. They think of aliens as somebody standing on two legs and they got two arms, two eyes, or something like that. These people share no DNA with us at all. So it might not be in the form of we come in peace. You know what I'm saying? It might be a plant. It might be water. It might be whatever the fuck. Energy is everywhere. You can't stop that. That is life. And I believe that I believe that, yes, aliens have probably came to this damn earth, but I don't believe that they are telling the whole truth. Because one thing that I have noticed, and I knew it was bullshit when they said it, when they said the aliens said that your planet is overpopulated. Now, any dumbass with an 8th grade education would know that the earth is far from overpopulated. It's probably, it damn near can't be overpopulated because of capitalism and how many people it kills yearly around the world. It damn near can't even be overpopulated because we can't even get comfortable enough to fuck our bitches. I mean, our women. Sorry, to have these fucking kids or reproduce. So yeah, mix me with that bullshit. If an alien said that, the motherfucker is just as dumb as all these motherfuckers that believe in eugenics. I'm not falling.
Definitely a fascist narrative that they would even go in that way.
Yeah. Of course, there's aliens. They probably did have some conversations with leaders and whatnot. But are they twisting the words? Are they twisting the message? Fuck yes, because they twist our message. When we say Black Lives Matter, they gave it to the Democratic Party and say, yeah, they killed the real leader of the Black Lives Matter and gave it to the Democratic Party. They twist our words. They say they have black support when the majority of black people don't give a fuck about voting. 1 in 13 of us can't vote. And what happens when you have, your uncles and your dad who raised you, who never could vote? The next generation is not going. It's like they're lying. They're lying about what is being said, about the conversations that's being held. I believe, yes, they have probably traded or shared technology amongst each other and whatnot. But as far as these people talking about, oh well, your air is polluted and your people's okay, well, half of these problems are done because of the leaders that they are talking to. If the air is poisoned, if the air is polluted, that's the leader's fault. Don't tell us. Tell each other. If the water is polluted, go tell each other. There's a warning to you guys. You run this fucking planet, not us. So they try and make us look like, oh, well, damn, well, man, nobody give a fuck. We're not even paid enough to give a fuck about some damn aliens. If aliens came right now, I probably would welcome them to overthrow our capitalist overlords.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. Speaking of other kinds of consciousness, so it's a recurring theme on this show talking about chatbots and the state of chatbots. In this conversation that we had in passing, I mentioned this other show where I talked about this program ChatGPT, and this. So basically, there are these things now that you can use that are basically a full-time copywriter for free. It does a lot of what a personal assistant would do in the form of AI, and it's a little misleading what those things are because there's a lot of people that actually working behind the scenes in the global south, curating that content So they say, oh, it's just this magic thing, but there's a million underpaid workers.
It's the algorithm. It's the algorithm. Like, no, it don't work like that. It's always some low-paid worker who's at the shitty end of the stick. That's how it works.
Yeah. And there's one that's a little better than. So the two ones that came to prominence just this year are controlled by Google and Microsoft, military contractor type companies. There's another one called CLAUDE.AI. I'll just say this for the audience. CLAUDE.AI, and that one is doesn't have a completely evil corporate owner. But the thing that I shared in the conversation was so we have access to these things that are a personal assistant that will just write a whole book for you in a matter of an afternoon. It will pretty much be your book, right? You can keep tweaking it and making it do whatever you want.
It's still gonna suck because there's no original. It's like, okay, look, this is how I feel, man. Be real. I hope people just use up all the AI that they can. I hope these motherfuckers get so spoiled off of it, because the way I feel about AI within the chatbots and stuff like that is the same way I feel about hip hop, same way I feel about rap. They want to make all this AI stuff. You want to bring back Tupac and Big? Go ahead, eat it all up. And when you get so spoiled off of this this fake bullshit, you're gonna be craving for a real writer. You're gonna be craving for a real artist. You're gonna fucking around and have a heart attack when you see somebody actually drawn with their hand. Like, I say, you know what? If you like it, I love it. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna get full of it. You're gonna get too full of it, and it's gonna these Americans have that goldfish mentality anyway. And it's probably gonna be a trend or a fad, and we're gonna be on to the next fucking thing, because these niggas is just dumb any fucking way. So and you can tell they are telling you that, look, I'm dumb, I'm lazy, fuck it. Might as well let these motherfuckers write it for me. I don't need originality. I don't need, you know what I'm saying, to put my heart and my soul in my heart. Fuck you, reader. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck my fans, fuck this. And hey, if you like it, I love it. Because if a nigga can't disrespect me, like, I like Lyrical Miracle, you know? If Crooked Eye or Lupe Fiasco, Talib Kweli put out an album and they AI'd the whole shit and auto-tuned the shit.
Have you seen the voice fakes of like Kanye.ai? Yeah. Have you seen that kind of stuff? Yeah. What I think about that is pretty. I mean, like, I said this to somebody the other day. Like, if you can just make so the generative side of that, making the music itself, you can make a million new Kanye songs that are good as other Kanye songs that nobody's ever heard before. So in that world, hopefully, people will realize that these cultural things, maybe some of them have some value, gentlemen behind you perhaps, but let's say that for the most part they have no value at all. People, when they're inundated with this, they'll realize that this is maybe not as great as they thought it was, and they'll start to maybe think about things like their own class interests.
Especially we have to think about not only AI, but the whole streaming business right now. These artists are not getting paid. Excuse me, they are not getting paid. On top of that, you got other motherfuckers taking their voice, their likeness, and running it through an AI. And everybody's making money off of you but you. Like, if you support your artists, don't support replacing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, AI was supposed to replace certain hard labor jobs, you know, like dropping the fucking transmission. You know, some shit like that, hard wiring, or, you know, lasers. You know, that'll be fucking cool, right? We won't have to deal with certain conditions and or implants, right? We don't have to be around certain materials, smoke, and stuff that's gonna put metal and poison in our system and lungs, right? Okay, AI can take over those jobs. Why are we having AI take over the art?
Yeah,
something that we should be able to sit back and enjoy while the AI do those hard jobs for us, which we should be getting paid for anyway, because I'm pretty sure all the shit was made with your money. Just like the iPhone, just like the Samsung, just like all this shit. It was made with your money and it was privatized.
Yeah, that's true of practically every tech operation of any size in existence. It's one of the most odious things about Western technology. You know what you were saying? That was the conventional wisdom just until months ago, when these chat GPT type things started coming out, and it changed quite quickly, and people, you know, suddenly said, well, basically everybody in the humanities, human resources, this broad kind of area of people in offices and writing are people who might be tending to be automated out of a job and already have been. And the other thing is of that was computer programmers. These things are getting really good at computer programming, and it's funny that when these things start to replace computer programmers, that's when all the computer programmers suddenly say this thing has a mind of its own, which is
yeah, it's like AI. Like what would you like? We don't watch the movies from the 80s and 90s no more. We just forget about those. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the computers taking over and whatnot? Anything that you give too much power or control or too much, you know, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I can sit here and be like, damn, I cannot get no fucking sleep. Fuck it, I'm about to take Tylenol PM. Okay. I still can't get no sleep. I'm gonna take some NyQuil. Still can't get no sleep. Pop a Viking. I mean, or Xanax. These are all prescription drugs, and some of you can get over the counter. They're all good for you in some way, but keep taking that shit if you want. Keep taking that shit if you want and see what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, these people are gonna get so full and so spoiled that it's gonna run dry. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit over and over. Like, yeah, you know, your bots, they can take a flow from something that was already there. But what happens when your artists want to switch up a flow and whatnot? Because we got Eminem, Slim Shady EP, we got Marshall Mathers, and he relapsed. Now he talking to accents, right? If we would have created AI back in the early 2000s, and we would have just run an Eminem, he would have just been talking about killing his mama and this and that, right? You know, right? So, well, AI is not gonna match up. It's not gonna continue to match up with the realness that comes from real art. Like, if you actually, like, I'm not into all the fucking little pop stars and all that bullshit. You know, I really like music. I'm really conservative when it comes to music because of a lot of bullshit that's coming out right now, and with AI pushing out bullshit, and especially not paying the artist, not paying the original artist. I feel like it's bullshit, man. I think we really should support our artists, and if you're gonna do something like that, you know, use your own likeliness. You know, do something. Make it say some shit in your own voice. You know, but don't do your artist like that, because people
I won't usually talk about any artist unless basically I've seen a hammer and sickle next to their face.